So it's Nicole here again.
It's Maytay again. Sup?
All right, and we're bored, so I pulled out this OTP questionnaire kind of thing, and we're just gonna go ahead and answer it for fun. Favorite character?
Santana Lopez.
All right, so what drew you to her in the beginning?
Attitude, style, what she was in street clothes. Well, I guess if we're talking like first impressions, she a good-looking ass girl.
Yeah.
Her witty comments, her sarcasm
Mm-hmm.
easily drew me in.
Yeah, for me, it was like, obviously, she was like ridiculously attractive, which is like the first thing you notice about her. But then also, I kind of love her complexity in that one minute she could be like hilarious and ridiculous. The next minute she's just totally like heartbreakingly tragic and just has like this amazing depth to her. And I like how the show could play like both sides of her. I also like writing both sides of her. All right, so how do you imagine they met? Now, are you one of those people who think they met when they were kids, or do you think they met just like right prior to the Glee pilot episode?
I'd like to think that they met as kids, only because I've read stories where they wrote them like that, and like I kind of like the build up. I like the journey that they went on together to where they are now.
Yeah. I love fics where they're like kids and it's sort of revealed that, you know, Santana has had years to like really understand and decipher all of Brittany's weird and whimsical ways.
And I also like that it was plainly obvious that she was in love with Brittany since they were kids.
But then also, like, I read some fics where they sort of meet as teenagers and Santana is like prickly and fists up around the world, about the world, and she just meets Brittany, all of a sudden, just like that, it's like Brittany cuts through it, and it's like totally unexplainable. I don't know, I've read fics like that, and I love those too, so I don't know, for me, it's hard to decide. Although there is that deleted scene from a script in season 6 where Brittany says that the reason they met is because Sue put them together at cheer camp, and the first time they fooled around, it was because she released them naked into the wilderness to see if they could fend for themselves.
Wait, that's really a deleted scene? I didn't know about this.
I don't know if they filmed it, but it was in the original script for the wedding episode.
Oh my god.
I have a screen cap of it somewhere, and I'll have to find it and send it to you.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Okay, this is gonna be a controversial question, but do you multi-ship either of them with somebody else?
Negative.
I don't...
Wait, like all three of them together, or just like one with another person?
Either.
Y'all, some of y'all gonna kill me for this. I was down for the Santana and Quinn thing. I was down for it.
I know I'm gonna probably like offend some people, but I have read some Quintana fanfics. I don't know. It's like I can sort of suspend my devotion for like a tiny moment while I'm reading the story in order to enjoy that story. It's like it's an AU of an AU almost in my eyes.
Yeah, I feel like if it was like Santana and Quinn, but in a different circumstance, like if it wasn't the drinking night and Santana being really sad and Quinn obviously going through her own shit too, it would. I think people would have loved, or not loved, but they would have tolerated that shit for a little bit.
I will also admit, I have read some Santana Rachel fics.
Oh.
Okay, here's the thing. I do not ship them. However, there's some amazing fics out there, and I feel like a lot of Pesbury fics are about Rachel is dumped by Finn, and so she goes to Santana to lose her virginity, and
I don't know how I feel about that.
And Santana's like, alright, I'ma do it. Just so I can say I got there before Finn, before Puck, before any of those boys. And it's usually really hilarious.
Oh my gosh. That sounds terrible, but also, yes, hilarious at the same time.
Hilarious. And
Have you ever read fics with Brittany and Rachel? I don't know why those make me cringe so bad.
I can't. No.
I tried one and I couldn't get with it. I could not. For some reason, Brittany calling somebody else baby or anything like that, I cannot.
Yeah.
It doesn't compute with my brain.
Oh,
it doesn't work.
Totally. One time, okay, I was reading one of those Pesbury fics, and Rachel mentioned something about sweet lady kisses, and I was like, wait a second. That is a Brittana thing, Rachel. Take that out of your mouth.
You cannot cross lines like that. If you can't use Brittany's line.
You can't use Brittany's line and give it to Rachel. I'm like,
nah. See, it doesn't even sound right coming out from her either way.
It doesn't. Okay. Do you think one of them would cheat on the other?
Negative. I feel like Santana, just like in the show, she would feel so guilty even looking at another girl, and take that as cheating. I feel like if they ever, one of them decided that they needed to break up or they wanted to break up because they wanted to go explore, they would be adults about it. And talk about it. It'd be sad as hell, but
yeah, I think definitely, like you said, a big if either of them were ever at that point, I don't think they would go out and hurt the other. They would actually approach it in a mature way. But I don't think that conversation would ever take place.
Well, I've seen people write stories like that, where Santana cheats. I'm just like, how? Why would you do this to me?
It's where Santana cheats too, and it doesn't really make sense. It always, to me, seems like the author is looking for some kind of obstacle to throw up between the characters and can't really come up with anything else. And there's a way to create hardships and obstacles for your characters without resorting to cheating, because, I don't know, cheating is just, again, it does happen, but at the same time, it's boring.
You couldn't give them any other obstacles to go through in their marriage. It had to be one of them cheating.
Okay, which animated Disney movie couple would your OTP be? Damn. I got this. I think I got this.
Go ahead. Hit me with
it. Lady and the Tramp. So hear me out. Hear me out. Britt is Tramp. She's playful and silly and, like, I imagine loves to get into mischief. Like a food fight broke out in the cafeteria and she was like there dancing like an adorable goof, while Santana broke out into tears because Princess doesn't like to get dirty. So Santana is absolutely Lady. She's pampered. So Santana is Lady and Brittany is Tramp.
I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah. I also appreciate that you didn't do it vice versa. I feel like everybody always puts Santana as like the broke Latina, like a stereotype type of thing.
From the wrong side of the tracks.
Just because she's from Lima Heights, that could probably be a rich place and we don't even know it. You see, when I was little, I stuck to like 3 Disney movies and that's all. I don't want to say Little Mermaid because I want to feel like they're not stupid enough to sell their damn voice.
Is it me, or do you always see like a lot of references to the Little Mermaid in Brittana fanfic? I feel like it references it a lot, especially.
Yeah, and apparently it's like Brittany's favorite.
Especially if it's a fic that focuses on their childhoods when they meet as children. It's like always something they have in the background. It's in multiple fics that they sing "Kiss the Girl" to each other.
Yeah.
Which is
where
cute.
Where did that come from, though?
I don't know, but I think it's cute, and I love when I see it. Okay, so what is your dream scene for your OTP?
I have 2.
Okay, go for it.
I really wanted to see a first dance at their wedding. Ooh, how I wanted it so bad, and they deprived of it. That's all I wanted to see. And then the second one, I would like to see future Brittana. Like, what are they doing? Even if it's just them chilling at their house, I want to see, like, one of them coming home from work and one of them doing something in the house, and maybe like a little baby Brittana running around.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to see that.
There's one thing I really wanted from the show, and they didn't give it to me, is I wanted Brittany in New York. for an extended period of time. I specifically wanted Brittany in the loft, and that's because
we did see Brittany in the loft,
but not with Santana.
True.
So, if you know me as a fic writer or you follow my Tumblr, you also know that I hardcore ship Brian and Justin from Queer as Folk. And I have said a million times, and I even like made some videos that compares Brittany and Santana to Brian and Justin, because they are the same ship but like different genders. Like the personality, the dynamics, they are spot on. And
dead ass. If y'all need to go check out those videos, because the comparison and the way that she did it, mind blowing.
Yeah. And the thing about Brian and Justin from Queer as Folk is like their special place is Brian's loft, and it's cool and sexy, and it's just where they always connect the most. So my like shipper heart has a special place for both these ships. I wanted to see them like grown up in the loft. What's your favorite type of fanfic?
I have two favorite types.
Okay.
I like, and I've told you this before, I like kind of like realistic scenarios. Mm-hmm. Like, one of my favorite fics is Somewhere in Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. If the author just happens to be listening to this, please update. Please. But I also like, I don't want to say like fully realistic, but like in a realistic scenario, like I'll use one of yours as an example. You Instead, one of my favorites. Two rock stars, kind of. One is famous and one of them is coming up, and then they meet at a festival. Like those type of scenarios, I love. Those are the kind of fics that I like to read about. Mm-hmm. Something that fun and stupid at the same time. Mm-hmm. Love it. You as a fic writer, though. Okay, I'll ask you this: what are your favorite type of fics, and do you judge hella hard when you read a fic as a fic writer?
I will say my favorite type of fics to read and my favorite type of fics to write are sort of weird and funny. A humor that's sort of off-center, and it's a really particular kind of comedy that I like. Like when I was younger, I really wanted to be a sitcom writer. Obviously, I'm not that. However, I just, like, this is me, like, flexing that little muscle. I don't know. I like to read silly. Stupid and silly.
Something that will keep you distracted from, like, real world, right?
Yeah. I can't really read any heartbreaking, tragic fics. I can't take it. I'm too sensitive.
What's that one fic that, like, broke everybody's heart?
I feel like there's a couple. Color. When
I first got into the fandom, that was one of the first fics I read. I don't know why I did that to myself. I don't think I've ever cried as much as I did for two fictional characters.
I don't think I've ever read the whole thing, and that's because I read several chapters of it, and I'm like, oh no, where's this going? And so I stopped, and then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go read the end. And so I skipped to the end. I'm not even joking. I literally cried into my pillow. And I'm like, no, I can't go back to that.
That end is a killer. That will, like, finish you off for real. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
The person that wrote that, oh my god. I don't know how they did it.
Yeah.
If I was a writer, I would be, like, crying as I'm typing it out.
So even though I haven't read it completely, I respect it, because I think that's the sign of a good story, is when you can make your audience feel something. And sometimes that's like you make them laugh, and sometimes you make them cry, but getting any sort of reaction out of a reader, like, that's the sign of a really good and intriguing story. But yeah, I can't read that stuff.
For me, there's like a fine line. I know Somewhere in Brooklyn has like some sensitive scenes. I mean, it always does have a warning and stuff because of what they talk about. But I've read fics that are like describing brutal deaths, and I'm like, yo, how did your mind get to that point, to write that? Like, I mean, no hate, but it's not my type of thing.
Yeah.
There's a fine line. For me, there's a line. And if I start reading it and I see where it's going, I can't get with it. I'll exit it out.
Yeah, and okay, so the thing about me, Mate, is like, we really enjoy true crime stuff, and so we watch a lot of documentaries, and we watch a lot of YouTube documentaries, and I can totally, like, digest that stuff. and be okay. However, I can't read about my favorite characters like being assaulted or anything like that because it hurts too much. Which sounds completely weird.
That's so weird. Yeah, that's so weird for us.
Because these true crime stories, they really happen to real people.
And here we are crying about two fictional characters.
Yeah. And I don't know why that is. And I mean, I do know why that is. That's because, like, these fictional characters, they sort of build homes in our hearts.
It's like we almost know them.
Yeah, we have a deeper connection to them.
Can somebody write a fic about that? Santana being a true crime obsessionist?
Yeah, I think for sure probably during this quarantine, she would go down a rabbit hole. She would probably end up watching a bunch of conspiracy videos.
She's watching Kendall videos right now.
Oh, yeah. Kendall Ray makes some really fun, well, not really fun, but really cool videos about true crime cases. And some of them are popular, some of them are, like, little known, but she's really, really cool. She's, like, one of my favorite YouTubers, Kendall Ray.
Check her out. She really does know how to put things into detail. She'll break down the whole crime.
So, I have another question here. If they were about to rob a museum, which one does backflips through lasers, and which one is strolling behind with a bag of chips?
Brittany's doing the backflip, front flips, matrix tricks, and Santana's definitely holding the bag of chips.
Yes. Brittany would definitely be doing the elaborate backflips through lasers, and Santana would be strolling behind her. However, I don't think she'd be munching on a bag of chips. She'd be eating breadsticks.
And somehow cheering Brittany on. You're doing great, sweetie.
Okay, who walks around the house half naked and who yells at them to put on some clothes?
Santana is walking naked. Brittany's yelling at her. No. That's hard. I feel like Brittany likes to probably walk around naked. I think maybe it's both.
I feel like Brittany would be the one who walks around naked, and Santana would only yell at her to put clothes on because Santana can't get any work done when Brittany does that.
But I feel like they're both walking around naked.
Yeah, probably. Which one tells the other not to stay up all night, and which one stays up all night anyway?
Santana's staying up all night, trolling on something.
Rachel. Santana probably runs like a Rachel Berry like hate account or something.
Yeah, Brittany's telling her to chill out, call it a night.
If you could do a Glee crossover with any other show, what show would it be? Specifically Brittana. If you can make Brittana appear in any other show, what universe would that be?
Oh man, that's hard. Oh my god, this is gonna sound it's gonna sound crazy. And you might not be able to picture it. I don't know if you've ever watched an episode of Empire.
Yeah, I've watched a few episodes.
But I don't know why superstar Santana and dancer Brittany would go in that world. I feel like forget all that drama that Empire comes with, but like as artists, be fired. And I feel like her and Cookie, Santana and Cookie getting into it, because they know how to throw insults at each other. I know that's like really random ass show, but that's the last thing I watched. So
let's see. For me, I would say
I know. Queer as folk?
Yes, I was gonna say I have two answers. Obviously, queer as folk because their sex scenes would be so hot. But I would also say Broad City.
Ooh, you beat me. That's a good one.
I'm a huge fan of Broad City. I think they would fit in with that world.
Anna and
Alana.
Ooh.
Alana would be drooling over both of them. She'd be like, three-way, anyone?
Legit.
And Santana would be like, no thank you. Alright, on vacation, who likes to see and do everything, and who doesn't mind just relaxing?
I think Brittany wants to go see everything. And Santana more wants to, like, just chill with her.
Yeah, for sure. I think Brittany likes to pack their day with, like, activities, and Santana's just happy to relax, work on her tan, and have hotel sex. Okay, who despises the other's favorite food?
Brittany.
Yeah.
Despises Santana's favorite breadsticks.
Do you notice, like, in a lot of fanfics, Brittany isn't a fan of breadsticks?
Yes. And shrimp is not really that much of a big thing for her either.
Yeah. And, like, there's some fics where, like, they both love it. And then there's other fics where Santana is, like, a cute little puppy who always wants to eat there. And Brittany's like, oh, we just had a date there last weekend. And it's really cute.
But she pleases Santana, so she does it.
Oh, yeah. Totally. This is a funny question. Who of your ship starts dabbling in witchcraft?
Oh, Brittany. I don't know.
Oh, man.
Brittany.
Oh, man. Oh, man. So, I'm gonna say both. Do you know why?
Why?
Because in season 2, Santana makes that voodoo doll of Rachel Berry.
You're right. You're so right.
In season 6, Brittany says she's gonna ritualistically slaughter that chicken.
Chicken? Yes!
To undo the bad luck of Santana seeing her in her wedding dress.
Yes!
They have, in canon, they have both dabbled in witchcraft.
Oh my god, you're right. You're totally right.
Oh my god.
These nerds, oh my gosh.
Okay, who plans out romantic nights and who does it spur of the moment?
Santana plans out Brittany's. No, yeah.
Yeah.
Santana plans out Brittany's spur of the moment.
Oh yeah, I am with you there, like, absolutely. Santana has to plan everything so specifically. She wants it to go off without a hitch. And Brittany just wants to sweep Santana off her feet.
And if Santana, like, if something goes wrong, she beats herself up about it, for sure.
So, this is a weird question, but it's funny. Let's see. Who just started watching gay porn for the first time and becomes obsessed?
I don't know. I think they've already watched.
Here's the thing. In fanfic and also in, like, canon, I just, for some reason, can't imagine either of them watching porn. I feel like they are so beyond it.
But not even out of curiosity, you don't think?
Yeah, you know what? Probably.
Or just to make fun of
at least when,
the porn.
probably when they were younger, like 15 or 16.
I definitely don't think they watched it to know what to do. I feel like that just came natural to them. Mm-hmm. But I do think they were curious about seeing what it was like for other people, maybe.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I just don't think they would need it to sort of get excited or anything. At least as adults, I don't think they really need it.
I agree with that, yeah.
I think the only porn they would watch is their own. Okay, who is more open about their sex lives?
Brittany.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know why. I just feel like she's just more free-spirited. She doesn't care.
On the show, Brittany kind of likes to brag about her sex life with Santana a lot. Do you notice that?
I mean, if it's good, I would too.
And I feel like Santana does share a lot about her sex life when she's having sex with other people. Like, she'll casually toss the line out about some random she has slept with. But I feel like when it comes to Brittany, like, she keeps that really close to herself.
Yeah.
And would never really want to share that with anyone. In terms of, like, who's more, like, adventurous, yeah, definitely Brittany for sure. She's into some weird sex stuff. Like, there's even that running bit of her having, like, an armpit kink.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. It's weird. But it's like, but it's like, Brittany? Out of all the characters, they give Brittany an armpit kink. Who is most likely to cry while in the theater?
Santana.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
She's a baby. She's an actual baby, and that's that.
All right. Who gets the window seat?
Brittany.
Yes. Yeah, Brittany.
She's all about the clouds.
Yeah.
All about the clouds.
I think Brittany likes to cloud watch, and Santana likes to Brittany watch.
I also feel like Santana is very much like me, and is scared of heights.
Oh,
not
yes.
trying to look out the window.
Yes. So she's like, I'm gonna be generous, Brittany. You have the window, babe.
Yeah.
You deserve it, babe. Really, she's just like scared of heights.
Yep, that's her excuse.
I love it. Well, I think that's gonna be it for this episode. Well, it was good chatting with you. It was nice, like, to have a distraction. So,
you know, trying to keep positive right now.
Yeah.
Keep working hard, especially you.
Yeah. So everybody, if anybody's still listening to these things, take care, stay inside, be safe.
Yes. Think about all the people around you, and if you're quarantined with somebody and you have to go out, just please stay safe. Cover your mouth and all that. You know what y'all gotta do.
Yeah. Like, I hate that people are, like, hurting right now, period. However, I just feel like Brittana fandom is really, really special to me, and I would just hate if anybody got sick and got really, really hurt. So, y'all, take care of yourselves and take care of your family.
For sure.
All right. Yeah. So we're out.
Peace.
Later.